All right.
Hello, Mayuge Favour. He is a youth director with Hope Africa Development Organization. And this organization is located in Uganda. Daniel is going to share with 10-6 Life Factors all the different projects he's engaging in helping women, especially teenage girls, and the wonderful things, initiatives that they're engaging in with this project. Welcome to 10-6 Life Factors, Daniel.
All right. I would like to say I'm Muyaka Favour, a youth director at Hope Africa Development Organization, which is located in Mayuge District, Eastern Uganda. It was founded by Namtamba Rachel and me and some other 3 ladies. But later on through the struggles, some people were off because it was not that so good with finances. So we are currently helping the rural poor young mothers, widows, the PWDs, the youth with knowledge and income generating skills to eliminate poverty, unemployment, high illiteracy levels, and all forms of violence against women and girls. So we are currently having ongoing projects like tailoring, fisheries, which just started, but it's somewhere, somehow. No, I can't say failed because it needs some help. Then we have a piggery project, a demonstration farm, I could say, that's helping out with the ladies, mainly the young girls, to learn that they can carry out some piggery in a better way and earn some profits from it. Then the fish, then we have the demonstration garden also that has some maize and some sugar canes. Then we are having classes on how to cook, catering, such that these ladies get to learn how to cook and profit from it. Because what happens in Uganda here, mostly in Eastern Uganda, is that the men will sit at home, wait for the ladies to work, and after that, ask them for money. Yes, so they end up beating up some of these ladies in this whole cause, but we're trying to show them that they have a place, more or less of a shield to help them, and we can also amplify their voices, any kind of crying. And since we have a high poverty level in Eastern Uganda, as considered to the other parts of Uganda, we are trying to eradicate poverty in any way possible, at least engage the youth, the mothers, even the fathers. We do not count them out because we are like, if they're willing to help and also reduce this, they are also part of us. So in simple terms, anyone coming with our goals, we are ready to go with them and embrace them.
So let me ask you, Daniel, because you're sharing a lot. Let's do it this way. You mentioned several ongoing kind of intervention that you're doing. You mentioned cooking project, you mentioned the fishing. What else? And you mentioned others. What are some of the other ones that you are engaging in?
Piggery.
What is
tailoring?
Did you say figurine?
Piggery.
Okay, can you describe what that is?
Piggery generally is the process of farming, of rearing pigs.
Oh, rearing pig. Okay, so pig farming. Pig farming.
Yes, pig farming. That's
and what else? So cooking, fishing, pig farming. What else are you doing?
Tailoring. We have tailoring classes where people are learning how to tailor, how to sew some of these things.
Okay.
And actually, they're the ones helping us with the campaign, the 1 million pads drive campaign that's happening in Mayuge.
And you're also doing the sanitary pad drive, basically.
Yes, that's the one. And we're also trying to construct an education center to help educate some of these people because they don't have even a public library in Mayuge.
So you're seeking funds, or you're kind of doing fundraising to generate funds to build an education center so you can provide education. What level of education were you planning to? What's the education level of these women?
We're trying to from the age of roughly from 10 till the age of 16, 18, because the people usually drop out of school at the age of 14 here. So if they can manage to go on with academics till roughly till senior 6, which is, I don't know which year that side, but someone of senior 6 here could be roughly 18 to 20 years. So they could be able to obtain these books and read so as they can push on. Because most of these people drop out before even they reach senior 2. That's the age of roughly 14. Is it 14, 12? Yes.
So let me ask you, so there's a lot of projects going on at the same time. Is it that do we call them girls or do we call them women? What's the language that you use to describe them? The women in the
no, we're calling them the young girls, or we call them the young women. We call them the young women because we are mainly focused on the women and the youth girls.
And it's mainly the ages of 10 to 16 that you're working with, or you mentioned 18 to 20. So your population range is from 10 to 20 then?
Yes, 10 to 20.
Okay. Now is it that they engage in these programs? They do all of these programs, like the cooking, the fishing, the pig farming, or they choose one particular area to engage in?
We try to make them as diverse as possible because at the end of the day, even some of their parents come in, and as we said earlier, we do not cancel out anyone to come who is pushing with us.
Okay, so it's open to anyone. So there's no particular criteria that has to be met. It's just someone that is a girl or a woman that is willing, that needs help, and they seek out your program and you admit them to the program, yes?
Yeah, we have some questionnaire whereby, and we also have some people who go and check on these people. Currently, we also involve the local council one, who is the lowest level at the village. He goes on and checks and confirms if these people are really facing these problems. Okay, so this program, tell us the name of the village, because you mentioned that the education level of these girls, it's up to about 14 that they stop attending school. So what is the name of what is the name of the village, and tell us why is it that their education level is that, aside from poverty, is it that the schooling is not available? Tell us more about that. Okay, this is Mayuge District at large.
Mayuge.
Mainly, most of the villages are facing this, where we have
Daniel, yes, can you spell that for us? Because you're going a little fast, and some people may not pick up the name because of your accent. So spell it. It's Mayuge.
Mayuge.
Oh, so how do you pronounce it? Mayuge?
Mayuge.
And this is located in Uganda. And is it
Eastern Uganda?
Could you repeat that?
Eastern Uganda.
Eastern. I'm not understanding that. Sorry.
Eastern Uganda is a part of Uganda.
Eastern Uganda. And is this rural?
Yes.
This is in a rural setting? It's like
rural.
Very rural. So you're several miles away from, say, any city in the capital. Yes.
Yeah, we are very far from the capital city, which is Kampala.
So tell us about what is it that, in terms of the education level, is it that schooling is not available in this district?
The only schools that are available are roughly like 2 in the district that are really aimed at helping people, of which still they are asked for money to attain these schools.
And how far is it that you can attend? What's the grade level?
The grade level, they have managed to put some primary schools and some secondary schools, but they don't have facilities, because we tried to check out some of these schools. I don't know if I could send you some pictures, but they are not having a lot of facilities. Actually, these are schools that do not even compete at national level academically, because academically we have the worst academics in Eastern Uganda.
And when you say the worst, in terms of literacy, or is it just the implementation of educational curriculum, those type of things? There's no structure for that.
Generally, it's about the facilities they have. Because if you to look at people in the West or in central Uganda, they have enough facilities. Because I personally studied from the central. Then I went to high school in eastern Uganda, but the facilities were not proper. They're not proper at all. And you get to compete at someone at national level, they have all these facilities. They're going to tell you of particular items, simple items like beakers. People don't have them. They end up using cups.
Okay. Oh,
Yes,
that's just awful, what you're reporting to us. And so you're saying that you were able to attend school outside of that district, and you went to school, so you were able to obtain your high school education. Did you get some college in there? Were you able to attend college?
Yeah, I managed to attend college because my mother managed to do something about it.
Yes.
Though I didn't go to the best college, I could say, because obviously my grades were not that good. Because I personally believed I could have attained more than that. Because when I joined this school, I had enough grades, nice grades.
Yes.
Yes,
and
but
so here you are giving back to your community. Isn't that such a wonderful thing? You see the
it's very.
You see the need, and I'm sure it's a lot of hard work. I mean, I know you cannot even capture that to tell me how much hard work that could be. And here you are seeking funds to build an education facility so you can further the education of these young girls that are in the program. So is it on a daily basis where they come to it? Are you centrally located, meaning you have somewhere for these girls to come to? And the farm is kind of, is it located, centrally located, or farming, or the sites are, different places and you have to travel to them in terms of the fishing and so on? Describe the setting for us.
We are currently using land that's inherited land from my mother. Yeah, so it's centrally located, I could say, where the fish pond is there, the piggery farm, the pig farm is there, the tailoring school is there, and we believe we're going to get the place to put the school, the education center. It's part of the things we need.
And you have enough land space, land acreage to expand in terms of the schooling when you do get the fund to build the physical structure.
Yes, because there is enough land this side. People do a lot of sugarcane planting, of which they don't even benefit. We're trying to teach them about aquaculture, which is fish farming.
Yes.
Because it's currently bringing in a lot of money. I had the ideas, but I didn't have the resources. Yes. So I tried to put something at least to see, but it could not go on further. But it's there.
Isn't that wonderful? I'm hoping that we talking about it here, and when we put it on our platform, that your advocacy will reach a lot of people, and they're able to reach out to you to help you to make those dreams come true. Tell me more about the girls in the program. You kind of hinted at that in the beginning, where you say these are girls who are in relationships where the men sit at home and waiting for these women to take care, be the breadwinner in the household. And as a result, maybe lack of resources, the women are not able to meet those demands. They're beaten. Tell us more about, say, even the youngest. Tell us about what is happening to these girls.
What happens currently in the East, as we know, most of the ladies are more hardworking than the men. I'll say that, though I'm a man. But what ends up happening is the ladies are going to have this idea of, let's start up a business. Let me try to bring something on for my family, because the father is going to wake up and drink alcohol the whole day, spend the whole money he got from the wife drinking, and he will not bring up anything. So she's going to bring money and he will beat her to get that money, actually, forcefully. So that impacting a lot of violence. and that's not letting the people in the family to get what to facilitate them throughout their academics. So when these ladies get to do all this, they could report these cases, but no one gets to listen to them because they could fear the husband. And the husband could be working with one of the local government officials, could be part of the, I don't know, village committees, could be. So we're trying to cancel this out because generally, actually, you could even look at the structure of Uganda. Most of the ladies in the East are the ones having the posts, but the men in the East rarely do anything. So I'm trying to cancel all this out of like this mentality of the ladies doing something and the men are just beating them to steal from them. Actually, it's theft because they didn't work.
Yeah. So in terms of, what are some of the successes from this where you are teaching the woman these skills to be, it's through empower. Do you have any particular, you mentioned a particular model about environmental sensitive agriculture farm. Is there any other model of, so for example, to kind of combat the gender-based or intimate partner violence that they're experiencing, to pull them away?
We currently have also counseling that's being carried out to get to know their views and also note down some of these cases that arise. Because when these cases come in, we could not say we have lawyers because we have not reached that level to find these lawyers, organization lawyers, but we get to talk to some of these officials. We try to correct them. Actually, we go on moving and telling these people, because currently I met a lady when we are going to field, not even a lady, a young girl. She had given birth. She's roughly 17 years. But she was proud that she had her husband around. So I was like, could I get to put this out? She was like, no, because she looked at him and she was scared. So I was like, this is not actually fine because these people are promised very small things. A girl could want to buy herself something, then she'll go to a man to buy her, let me say, even a chapati, then do what, as you had seen our story for the campaign, you could buy her a chapati, then have sex with her, then we'll just buy her maybe some pads, but killing her future.
Wow. So that's pretty interesting. So you're saying you mentioned something about lawyers, getting lawyers. What are the legal the legal steps you're taking in these, helping these women for the need for a lawyer?
Okay, so we are having, as we said earlier, most of these men have connections in the government, or they have connections in the village committees. So it's hard to come up with a way of stopping some of these men because they'll come against the organization. So all you have to do is go talk to him, of which you cannot tell if he's going to go against it. So all we wanted was to find a way, let me say, as you had asked for the structure, to get up a team of people of which we can report to when they are part of us. They go put up some of these cases, because when we try to fight some of these people and they get maybe demoted or cut off from whatever they're doing, the rest of them can get to learn from them. And when they get to learn from them, a lot of violence will be cut down. Because even a mere farmer could start to beat up the wife knowing that he can go and pay off some money.
Okay, so because of this, the structure of the community and the type of friendships among community leaders and some of the men in the community, you're not getting much response in terms of shedding light on the intimate partner violence that is occurring among these girls. And so you mentioned, are most of the time, are these girls married to their partner that is actually causing them this abuse?
As I'd say, like in Africa here, actually most of Uganda, a girl could reach a point of, let me say, 14, 15, most in Eastern Uganda, or even 16. Then she'll find this boy who will maybe mess up, impregnate her after promising her this and that, maybe something nice, let me say even a chapati or a particular dress. So she'll get pregnant, and obviously here they send you off to go and stay with the gentleman or the boy. So when you start being with this boy, you remember at some point he didn't love you, he didn't have any kind of affection for you. He's going to end up beating you. So at the end of the day, you're married at a young age. He does not love you. You don't have any legal documents show that you're married. You're just cohabiting, staying with him. So he finds it easy to beat you, to do anything for that. So that's why we are trying to involve these people in our vocational practices, such that they can try to earn from them, because we're teaching them even craft making, beads also. I'd forgotten that. It's part of our tailoring class, because they come on a day, get hold some of this money, not to be fooled by these young boys, to fool them into marriage. Because in Africa, that's also considered marriage. Here in Uganda more so. It's considered marriage.
So the plan is to have these women reach become more, and then is there possibility of divorce in these situations? Are they allowed to divorce?
In this situation, it's possible, though some of them end up being comfortable. They feel they cannot leave some of their children with these gentlemen. They feel these gentlemen are the breadwinners at some point, because the gentleman will go for one committee meeting, they'll give him some allowances.
Yes.
He will come back and he will surprise some of the children. Though at the end of the day, even her, she'll come back with some money, but they'll beat her. So she'll feel like she'll have to remain in the family for her children. So maybe the only way of helping them is by involving them so that they earn some money. Because I believe when a woman gets to earn her own money independently, she can sustain these children. That's the possibility of now divorce. But other than that, there's no possibility.
Okay, and because that is, so you can let me know this. Is it more of the issues that are pervasive within this community? Is it culture, education, religion, subculture in terms of tribal behavior and attitude? Or is it something where we can easily say it's broader issues because it moves over into other communities? You say it's not just in Mayuge District, it could be other areas in Uganda. Yes, but which factor you think is the driving force? Lack of education, economic issues, cultural issues that is kind of driving this problem?
I think I would first and foremost start with the point of tribal, its culture. Because back then in African traditional society, the men were superior than the ladies, whereby they were not meant to do particular items. So we're coming into an era whereby the ladies have actually great ideas. So when they try to implement them, the men feel like they're being stepped on. They feel like they're being pressed. So at the end of the day, they end up beating up these women. Then also the other point could be due to the education. Because I won't lie, even in my particular class at some point, we're being led by girls, but the boys will find it as a big deal, a big problem. So at the end of the day, they would find it bad. So then the other point under education is these ladies are not being educated in the name of they want to step on them. They don't want to see them excel. Because when the ladies get to excel, they end up noticing that they were actually under a bondage. They were being held captive. Yes.
So education seems to be the key then for change.
Yes.
And that's why the school program, building of a school facility, is important. And of course, then the economic factor in them having, being able to sustain themselves and, coming to the sense that they need to move away and be more independent. So there's it's a lot of work for you, Daniel. It's a lot of work for you, and I applaud you for doing that. What is the resistance level, or should I say rather resistance or cooperation among this population that you serve? Because yes, they're coming, but what is it that, in terms of you educating them, is there some resistance that you're seeing, or they're more cooperating in making it a lot, your task easier?
I could say that some of these ladies, after getting to know us, because I came up and talked to most of them, because it was hard to talk to the daughters themselves, I had to call up their mothers. We talked. That's why we're involving actually their mothers more, and also the daughters, because they were not ready to release them. They don't know where they would go. So what ended up happening is they were willing. They were willing because at some point we called them for the first try of learning. They came in large numbers. Then the next time we called them, they actually increased. They kept on increasing like at a higher rate, which showed that they were willing. Though some of them are being stopped by their fathers because they will end up telling them who's going to do this, why are you leaving home, where are you going? You get, at the end of the day is, some of them could stop, but many of them are coming. But the problem is the resources. The resources are now the ones that end up pushing some of them, because we try to help them. Because now, recently, the tailoring class, we had run out of machines, and the people had increased at a higher rate than we had expected. So we had to cut them into different sessions. There are those ones that come early in the morning, then afternoon. But still, you find that these two classes are still having very many people. The class is limited too.
And so, who are your assistants? I mean, do you have several assistants helping you, family members or people who just join on? And are these volunteer positions or they're paid positions?
Basically, some of them are being paid. Some of them are being paid because, as I said, we are two directors. The first director, who is my mother, because when I shared this dream, she was very happy. And she was like, there are few men who are willing to do this. And I told her, yes. At some point in the day, I would not want to have a lady who is going to be stepped on. I'd want to see my girl who is going to come into this world and do something very nice. Even my own daughter, she couldn't be home doing nothing.
Right.
She could get to, when we get to do this all together, we get to make a world a better place.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's me and my mother. Because at the end of the day, she ends up getting money and she's just pushing in for these programs. And she's at some point calling and she's like, hey, you're trying to put in a lot of money from my side. You're sucking my money now. Where is this coming from? And I have to keep on informing her what exactly is happening.
Well, God bless your mother, Daniel, for having you and for helping you with your dream. I'm really so proud that to actually meeting you now, talking to you, and hearing that you're just doing this out of the goodness of your heart, and you want to make the world a better place. And it's just fall right into what we at our organization is trying to do, to educate, to promote the future for youth, so that it becomes this trifecta effect where they change. Those same girls hopefully will make a change with their children and their children, and then you see a better society. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So let me ask you, in terms of funding, what you're doing the fishing and the cooking, is it that you're serving the community in other capacity where you're actually feeding the girls themselves, or you're kind of selling the products from all these work that is involved?
Initially, we were feeding the people themselves, though we noticed, as I told you, we didn't have enough resources. So we opted for the other hand of selling most of these things. But even after that, it didn't help us. As I told you, so the project of fish farming is on a standstill because of facilities. But the piggery, we were willing not to sell to them the pigs, but to give them some of these pigs to grow them after us, demonstrating to them on how to do this, such that they can benefit from it at the end of the day.
So have you find that the women are starting their own pig farming, or starting some type of other crops that they can sustain themselves? Is that happening?
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. It's very happening, because we taught them on how to do sack farming. Because I personally have been growing up in the capital city, that's Kampala. So I usually come with ideas, share them, and they'd be very happy. They'd be very happy because these are people who are willing. They have not had any projects that are pushing them further. Because some of the organizations that are running this side, like when they get some, they lobby some of these funds, they end up putting them in their pockets and they don't do anything. So I ended up telling my mother, this thing should stop. This is not normal. This is not normal. That's why at the end of the day, these people are very happy to see me come. Because I won't lie to you, I'm a very rude person when I notice someone is not doing what I want. Yeah.
Well, let's describe it that what you're doing is advocacy. And that's really it. And you want people to be successful. And so that's part of the drive in getting others to do it, is by just being as transparent and telling them, giving them the best advice and strategies to go about it. Tell me more. What in terms of a success, tell me more. So far, yeah, the women are coming. You said the numbers are multiplying despite parents, kind of telling them not to attend, and they're using the tool and the information that you give to them in their own homes environment and so on. But what are some of the other successes? Because you also mentioned the sanitary pad project. How is that one going? And kind of explain that.
The sanitary tile project is ongoing, I won't lie. And the people have welcomed it because some of these people would get so stigmatized and would be very not happy to go into these days of the month. They would be so sad. At the end of it all, they're going to give in their bodies to some of these gentlemen in the process of trying to get some little money. These young girls, they'll end up getting impregnated. That's leading to the teenage pregnancies. Oh. So we were not happy with this. Then another success academically is we have tried to put some of these children into scholarships. We have taken some of these people into school. Yeah, we currently have some 17 children who are on our kind of program of studying. Great. But obviously they're not studying in schools that are so good, but at least we are doing what we can to push them so that they know that they are meant to study.
And eventually when go ahead.
Then we also try to involve ourselves in advocacy programs against gender-based violence. We try to teach some of the ladies what to do exactly when this happens and who exactly they're meant to approach. As when this is to happen, what could they do? Because some of these people, you reach a point and we try to advise them, you cannot go further. You can also start a life on your own. As I said, some of them find it hard to move on. So we end up telling them it's still possible. That's why I was like, we still welcome people. Yes, we have our goals and mission, but we still find there are people who need actually some of these things, but they're being squeezed and they're not under our things, but we try to help them.
Yes. So in terms of, go ahead, keep going.
So after teaching, we call these people around, we teach them, we advocate for their rights. Then we go on checking on some of these families, because some families, we could chair some meetings. We call them over, we'd be like, we'd like to meet your family, who exactly is happening, who is doing this. So we get to talk to them all together when they're around, and we get to find out some few solutions of what to do.
So you're doing a lot of intervention as well. Do you have a lot of contact with these men who abuse the women? Because when you say bring over family, are you talking about the girl's parents, but also include the girl's husband or significant other coming into meetings to talk to them?
Now, it depends on the family. There's a time you're going to go to a family whereby the boy's family welcomed the girl in their family. So we get to call the different families, we sit down and we're like, okay, you people accepted this, yes. But what is happening of late is not nice. They end up beating this girl and this is not being fine. Yeah. So we try to find solutions for these people.
Yeah.
We try to find solutions.
How receptive are they to what you're telling them? Because if you're saying that culture tends to drive a lot of the attitudes and behaviors and beliefs and about, especially the male role in the family, are they opening to hearing you, or does it become very cantankerous in you trying to talk to them?
As I had said before, the previous field day we had gone, a girl that we met that was 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
We asked her if she was willing to share with us, but she refused.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these people do not accept because they feel they're going to be judged. They feel something's going to happen maybe back to the family, because some of these men bribe their families.
Mm-hmm.
They could offer maybe a goat or a cow. They're like, maybe you could take this in exchange for this girl. So it ends up being a barter exchange kind of thing. Exchange a goat for this girl. And so she feels like if we are to report the man, they're going to ask for some of these things. And some of these people do not even be able to afford some salt. Salt that is roughly even $1 this side, but they can't. So at the end of it all, that's why we're like, let's give these people some food. Let them notice that we can also help them. We decided to go to this community. We delivered some food, our COVID relief food. We delivered some soap. We delivered some washing soap still, because there's bathing and washing soap. Then we tried to show them that all these things are possible.
Yeah. And so do you communicate through like pamphlets, like flyers? Do you post community notices to encourage families to come to sessions, to talk to you and your mom, the director, especially the perpetrators? So at least you have two groups learning simultaneously how to live together as man and woman in a union, and not necessarily engage in gender violence. What exactly in terms of community orientation then, or advocacy, aside from trying to get the girls in, what have you done to, kind of broadcast it across the community?
Yeah, as an earlier on, we gather these people, we talk to them because we have some manilas that we draw on. Then we have some posters we put up in our offices that we bring to these people, show them what they are going through and how we can fight against this, so that they get to know that without this, they actually have a better life than what they're having, because some of them end up being in a comfort zone, thinking that that's the only option they have. So other than this, we also post on our platforms, though our platforms are not efficient enough. So we end up going still to these people independently. That's why we told you, we have the LC one, and actually surprising, the LC one is our secretary. The LC one joined us.
What is OC? I'm not sure if I understand. Did you say OC1?
Oh, look, the LC one is actually a statement for local council one.
Okay.
Is part of the local government.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
So you're in connection. There's some kind of collaboration between the local councillor and what you're doing.
Yes, he's actually part of us, because the previous one was not actually with us, but when we got this new one in this recent regime, he was willing to help. So we called him on, and actually we put him on our village committee.
Great, great.
Yes.
So let me understand as well, in terms of getting your organization to outside of the community then. You have a website, yes, or it's just fake? What type of social media do you have? Tell us about that.
We have a website. We have an Instagram account. We have a Twitter account. We have Facebook. We even have LinkedIn, and we have a YouTube channel. Wow.
And so if someone watched this interview and wants to get a hold of you, can you tell us how we get, through those websites, yes, but what is it that you'd want them to help you with in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, first and foremost, I could not forget the campaign. Let them not forget the 1 million pads drive campaign. I'd be very happy. Then they could get to communicate to me through my email, which is danielfavour256@gmail.com.
Okay.
Then they could also reach to me through our office line, which is 256-7811-61770.
Does that include the Ugandan area code, just in case people are calling from overseas?
Yes, the area code is on +256.
Okay, and yeah. So And the 1 million pad drive that you're seeking, what ways can they get the product to you? Do you have a physical address if someone wants to say ship you products? Is there a physical address that they should be shipped to?
Yes, we actually do have a physical address.
Do you want to share that, or you'd rather them contact you first through your email?
Yeah, according to our policy, it's advised not to share that, but they could contact me through the email.
Okay.
Could contact me through the email. Then for the fundraise, it's happening on Cash App because, as I told you, our other director is currently the one who handles that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the fact that you're dealing with such dangerous mindset in these individuals who resort to such just tragic ways, I guess, of dealing with life? Are you concerned about safety? Not, I mean, of course, about the girls, but also for yourself and your team?
Oh, yes, we do. Actually, that's why at some point my movements are limited. They do not let me go anywhere. Actually, I watch out on most of these things, and we try to train also our team before we go into community. At the end of the month, we try to teach them some new things, some new ideas. Yes.
That's interesting. Has there been any concerns? I mean, well, any specific threats that you've come across or been, said or done in any way?
Oh, that had happened with one family where we had gone actually to help them out, and they rejected the things and they were like, "We are not ready for this." Because I had told you earlier on, we have a lot of culture issues. So this is a person who has, what is it called? A shrine. It's called a shrine. Yes. So this gentleman had refused to help us. Like, in simple terms, we're helping him, but he was helping us because he had a number of daughters with him. But he was not willing to take in what we're giving him.
Daniel,
yes, more so that our family is a Christian kind of family. So he felt it was not fine with him taking this on.
Okay, that's interesting. You raised religion. We didn't explore that. Is there a diversity of religion in the community, or is just one religion? What is it, and which is the major religion within the community?
Oh, we are diverse. We're diverse in the community because generally in Eastern Uganda, the largest religion is Islam, but we also come in as Christians and help because I'm a born again. But I usually don't look at that as long as I see someone has a concern. Though at the end of the day, we try to pray. Yeah, we try to pray together. Those who are willing, they pray. Those who are not, yes, we move on as one.
And so this diversity of religion is also among the population that you served as well, yes?
Yes.
Daniel, what an interesting story you shared. What an interesting advocacy program that you're involved in. And I appreciate you coming. We're at the end of this session. What is it that, give us a summary of, your advocacy. What is it that you want people to help you with? You said it already, but I want you to restate it for emphasis so that for someone who probably sometimes jumped to the end of the video, they see this and they can reach out to you.
All right. I'll with the ongoing project. We shall start with the 1 million pads campaign drive. 1 million pads drive campaign that's in Mayuge, and the fish farming project, then the pig farming project. Would also love to get an expansion for our tailoring classes. And first, the main point is we'd love to get our education center. This education center is going to help us fight a lot of illiteracy that's in Mayuge District, as you had said. Because at some point, I feel illiteracy is also playing the major role.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically, that's what.
Yeah. Daniel, you've said it well, and I hope your advocacy campaign is successful, and I will do my best from my end to, point people to your website and to your social media so they can connect with you. We thank you for sharing today.
Thank you very much also for reaching out. Good